This man will take on Bobby Poulter, BFL 71, March 10th, next Thursday night. Please welcome Saeid Mirzaei to the show. Thanks for joining me, man. Seems like forever since I've chat with you last.
Yeah, it's been a while. What's good, Jeremy? Thanks for having me on the show, man.
Definitely, man. Now, last time you fought, I believe, was 2019, Rise FC 4. Since then, I know you've been training. You've had a lot of camps. You've had a lot of fights fall through. Judging by
Yeah.
your Tapology page, there's like 5 cancellations, but I know from seeing you on social media, there's many more than that. How frustrating has it been to not be able to get back inside the cage since 2019?
Well, it's been extremely frustrating as a fighter. This is what we love to do. This is our way of release, our way of doing our art, right? So when we don't get to have that outlet, have that form of expression, it's just it can be a little tough, But I'm really grateful that I get to get back in there and finally get back my momentum and you know start doing my thing again.
Now we know you locally as a guy who is a rising prospect, especially from your amateur career, all the way up through this pro career. I mean, your record doesn't show that because you've only had the 3 fights in your professional rankings, but we've seen you put on some great performances. Now, fans might not know the name when they see you on UFC Fight Pass because they haven't had a chance to see you. Can these fans expect to see out of you in here? Because, as I said, haven't been in there since 2019, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I say I'm a pretty well-rounded fighter, but coming to bring the KO for you guys every time.
Now, over the course of the last 3 years, I know you've traveled, you've done your thing. COVID obviously has been a big part of the last 3 years. How have you seen your game be able to progress with all the COVID measures and all that kind of stuff?
Well, thank God I still was able to do my private lessons, so my game was able to progress regardless, thanks to my coach who worked with me one on one during this time and technically fine-tuned me and bettered me in the aspect that I plan to show in this fight.
I want to ask. I know you've been a bit of a rogue your career. I have no problem saying that. I'm sure you have no problem saying that. You've trained
Mhm.
at many gyms. You haven't found your home. Where are you training for this camp?
For this camp, I'm training with Rain City for my boxing, and I train with my friend John, also my wrestling coach Navid. Shout out to also my wrestling coach Nicholas too. But also, who else have I been training with? Crew Mehdi. I just trained with him recently. Um, my friend Hutan, he's my Muay Thai trainer too. So I train with multiple separate different trainers. I also stop by Kukula Martial Arts for some sparring and rolling and stuff like that.
Now, I know prior to one of your previous fights, you had that experience on the mountain. Obviously, that was a mental warfare game. Not with getting into much detail, but I know there was some mental stuff going on over the course of the last year as well. How has that strengthened you, and how is your mental game leading into this camp? Because obviously, stuff outside the cage doesn't mean anything, but in your head, it sort of does.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, I would say, you know, I'm willing to die in there. Honestly, I'm willing to give it my all. Whatever happens, happens. When I go in there, I always had that mentality that give it my all no matter what. Fight like your life is on the line. But the more stuff you go through, the more you realize that this is what you're put on this earth to do. I feel like, in a way, for me, that's what I realized. This is something that I've been put on this earth to do, and I'm gonna do it.
Now, Bobby Poulter's the guy who's in front of you in this fight. We've seen him on the last Battlefield card. He had a pretty darn good performance. Actually, 3 cards ago against Keenan Keller. He's fought back east in his other 2 fights. He's 3-0. What do you see out of this guy, and do you see any problems that are going to be put in front of you inside the cage from Bobby Poulter?
Um, I don't see any problems from him. I see that he's gonna be a down game opponent. That's good. I like that. But I'll be ready for his attacks. I'm gonna make him miss. I'm gonna make him pay. So I think he doesn't know the level that he's coming into, and I'll be ready for what he brings. It's not gonna be anything new that I haven't seen before. Whereas he's not gonna be ready for what I have to bring for him.
A lot of people talk about ring rust. Obviously, we said 2019 was the last time you've been inside the cage. Do you think he's thinking that ring rust could come into factor?
Possibly. I don't know. I don't think it is for me though. I'm always sparring or you know I don't spar that often because of I like to keep my head um, that undamaged as much as possible. But I do a lot of pad work. I have so many fights already that this is something that like to me I always felt like I had natural talent for it, a gift for fighting. So um, no, there's no rust because to me this is something that I feel like I'm gifted at.
For sure. Now, I've known you since you were 17, 18 years old on the wrestling mats, and um, were you surprised that Jay asked you if you thought Bobby was going to have better wrestling than you because you grew up on those mats?
Yeah, 100%. Well, I mean, he has to ask some questions, right? I don't know if he actually thought those things. When I spoke to him, he thought that for sure I'll win the fight. But people are wondering if I'm going to show up. But the thing is, yeah, I had some cancellations on my record. But the thing is, a lot of those were due to COVID or injury or something like that. So it's like, I don't know why people would doubt that I'm not wanting to show up to a fight. I won the world championships as an amateur. I won titles in 5 different divisions so far, and I won a pro title in my last fight by knockout. I'm undefeated as a pro. I don't fear any man. So I don't understand why he would ask if I'm going to show up, but I guess that's what people are thinking. And he himself told me he believes I'm going to win. Um, the question is, what version of me shows up? So how dominantly I win, some shit like that. I don't know, but honestly, I'm bringing the best version of myself, and I'm gonna win in dominant, impressive fashion.
How cool is it to be able to fight on UFC Fight Pass? Because obviously you have fans, not just here in Vancouver, but from your hometown as well. So it must be
Yeah,
cool to be able to promote that. I mean, your son, your family back in Germany can watch it as well. It's got to be
me
pretty
too.
cool to be able to put that on UFC Fight Pass.
Yeah, 100%. It is excellent, and I'm really excited for that opportunity. Um, you know, it's gonna be a great opportunity for me to advance my career really fast because the UFC Fight Pass is really good, and UFC scouts will be watching soon. So if not after this fight, possibly after the next fight, I could go to Contender and you know make some waves there too. But yeah, this fight's apparently one of the most anticipated Canadian fights too. I'm excited for this fight to come as well. Let's see if this kid is as strong as they say and how hot he brings it, and let's see how I deal with that. And I'm excited to show you guys how I deal with that. So after that, it'll be first of all, it is awesome to fight on UFC Fight Pass, and after I will be making bigger steps.
One thing I wanted to ask, I heard in one of the interviews was that something to do with weight. I know that you're naturally fighting at welterweight. What is this fight being fought at?
This fight's being fought at 178.
Okay, and as why is that?
Um, so there was I was actually on point, ready to make the weight for the first fight, and then the fight got rescheduled, and then I was dealing with some personal problems during that time, and I basically ate some food during 3 4 days off, and my weight went up about um, quite a lot. So I ballooned up a bit, and I realized that I thought I was gonna try to kill myself to make the weight, but my trainer Hutan spoke to Jay and told him that I'm too far out, So they just asked the other camp, and then they agreed to bring the weight up.
Perfect. That's awesome. Are you surprised? I mean, you said just in that last answer before that one that this is one of the most anticipated fights in Canadian history, or this year at least. Are you surprised that you're getting more of the focus, especially from Battlefield? I mean, you look at their Instagram and it's all Saeid, all Bobby, way more than the main event.
Well, we're two welterweights with knockout power. Two powerful guys with knockout power. It's gonna be a explosive fight. I'm amateur world champion. I won a pro title against the judo world champ my last fight. This guy just knocked somebody out, and he beat Bryce, who's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's like pretty well rounded or whatever. So it's supposed to be like a really exciting fight. Both of us have knockout power and like power to really do damage with our hands. So obviously it's gonna come down to who's gonna be the most skilled fighter and make the other one miss and pay, right? So we'll see that in a few days.
So you're looking to go in there and show off your well-rounded skills and bring fireworks to the cage. You're expecting a finish?
Absolutely. Yeah, I go in there for the finish.
Final question, not even about you, but this evening, UFC 272, I believe. Jorge Masvidal against Colby Covington, a welterweight matchup. How do you see this fight playing out? I mean, it's your division, welterweight.
This is my division, yes. That's a good question. I'd say Jorge Masvidal is gonna win, but we'll have to see fight night. But I say that um, Colby's stand up is not that dangerous, and if Jorge can get it back to standing without getting tired and gassed out and keep it on the feet, I think he has the advantage in the fight because he has enough jiu-jitsu and enough MMA fights that he is good at getting back to his feet. He's good at not being held down, and like, I don't think Kobe is gonna be able to hold him down, and he's gonna lose in the stand-up portion, I think, or he might get hurt and choked out after. Who knows?
Definitely, Saeed. It's been a pleasure, man. I'm glad I've been able to chat with you after this many years off. I can't wait to see you back inside the cage on Thursday night. I will be there live, cage side. Hope to see an impressive performance from both of you guys inside the cage. Fireworks, as you said. Any shout outs, any sponsors, anything you want to say? The floor is yours, man.
For sure, man. I want to thank Mikhail Basharimov, my boxing coach, JD. I want to thank Sean. I want to thank Mehdi. I want to thank Hutan. I want to thank Nicholas Ugoala. And I want to thank Nabil and Ken too.
Thanks a lot, man. Good luck.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.